by 7. LA shot just 15% from 3. And after the game, LeBron admitted the team had breakdowns down the stretch. Shannon, how much trouble are the Lakers in?
Well, I've been worried about them, Skip. I've been worried about their three-point shooting, and I've been worried about their late-game defense. And that's what we saw on full display. They couldn't make shots, catch and shoot. They were terrible. And then down the stretch, they allowed the Blazers to go on a 19-6 run. Skip, I get it. There's no home court. You're not in Staples. But when you have Anthony Davis, you have LeBron James, and you're up 6, you got to bring it home. You got to bring it home. It's got to come home because you fought and you've been behind pretty much the entirety of the game. You were down at one point by 16, and you got to bring that one home. Skip, and they scored 93 points. Let that sink in. A team that's given up 123 in the bubble, they hold you 30 below that with AD and LeBron on that team. Now, granted, you played some pretty good defense yourself because this was the first time that the Blazers have only scored 100 points in the season. So you did some good things also. But for KCP 0-9, Danny Green was 1 for 12, Caruso was 1 of 6. You can't win like that, Skip. Anthony, AD, and LeBron have to play better. Skip, they need to be around 60. That's at the bare minimum in order for them to win, to offset. Because, like I said, I can't count on Kuzma giving me 25 like he gave me in the Nuggets. I can't count on that. I can't count on that Danny Green of 2013, Skip, that had the record for the most threes in a series. I can't count on that. What I should be able to hang my hat on is LeBron James and Anthony Davis, between the two of them, giving me 60-plus points, giving me 20-plus rebounds, and giving me 15 to 16 assists. That's what I should be able to hang my hat on. All the other things, if it comes, I'll take it, gladly accept it. But I should be able to hang my hat, and I wasn't able to hang my hat on that last night. I'm concerned. I am concerned, and I've been concerned for a while.
So here we go to game 2. Now the pressure is completely on your team. Portland probably feels like it has one to play with.
Right.
You know, you can just go out, let it fly, just see what happens, and hope that the Lakers shrink again. Hope that they start missing and it becomes contagious missing again. Okay, I'm going to bring this back up because we talked about it a couple of weeks back, and I'm not going to minimize the impact of this. What did we hear about LeBron and AD, not only in the bubble, I think it had started back at the end of the regular season. They had decided no more shoot-arounds. I'm not saying that's why they're missing so many threes as a team, but there's a mindset to that. Maybe if they're not going to shoot around now, and it's so easy in the bubble because you can roll out of bed and you can walk to the arena. It's 5 minutes from your hotel. Your bus ride is 1 minute to the arena. It's not that hard to go to shoot around on the day of a game, the morning of a game, late morning, maybe it's at 10 or 11. Just go shoot. And maybe you can break the cycle. Maybe you can smash the jinx of it. Maybe you'd feel better as a team if you went and everybody got up shots. And maybe all you did was shoot 3-point shots. And maybe you'd feel like you lifted the curse or the hex. You know, sometimes mentally, you know how it goes. And then if you can make a couple in the first quarter, maybe you start going contagious great on contagious hot. I think they need to go back to shoot-arounds because that's the only team I've ever heard of that doesn't conduct a morning shoot-around on day of game. It's a tradition in the league. I'm pretty sure every team does it every game.
Well, Skip, this is the only team in the league I've seen constantly shoot 15% from the three-point line, too.
All right, so maybe there is something to that.
Maybe you're right.
Rajon Rondo has been cleared to play. He practiced, I believe, on Monday.
I saw him, he was shooting pregame.
You need him. He brings this team something it did not have last night. It's an edge. It's an attitude. It's a playoff Rondo experience. There's something about him in big playoff games because he's been in a bunch of them and he's got championship in his pedigree. You need him to set a different tone than is getting set by Alex Caruso right now. I think the rest of the Lakers look at Caruso as a try-hard guy. You know, he's not good enough to make the impact that Rajon Rondo can make on both ends of the floor. Because Rondo, we know he's not a great on-ball defender, but he is a disruptor. He'll make a play with a steal. He'll do something to incite the team on a run. So you need Rondo to give you a new edge to this team. It didn't play with any edge or urgency last night to me. They fell behind by 16 right out of the gate.
But Skip, that's been the theme.
Yeah.
They've been slow out of the gates and then try to walk people down, and you have to exert so much energy in order to get back. Skip, in the third quarter, they scored 19 as a team. In the fourth, they scored 18. I've seen LeBron James score 20-plus by himself. I've seen Anthony Davis score 20 points by themselves. They scored 37 points in the second half.
Yep. Okay, and back to Kyle Kuzma. I brought him up as we opened the show. He has to play the fourth quarter. You have to try to feature him and get him going. He was going with 4 quick points, and all of a sudden he was going to the bench for reasons I still don't get. It was a defensive switch because they thought Danny Green could be better on either Dame or CJ than Kyle Kuzma can on defense. But you need to outscore the Blazers.
Yeah, but you got to make them work, but you have to also make them work on the defensive end while they're making you work, and maybe that's what's happening with Danny Green because he normally gets the toughest defensive assignment. So maybe, Skip, his legs aren't there because he's chasing Dame, he's chasing CJ. Well, you got to make them work also because if they're coasting, they're not worried. They're like, we ain't worried about you. We're going to double down on AD. We're going to double down on LeBron, and we're going to leave you shooters open. And as long as you don't make it, why would I ever not double down on AD? Why would I not ever double down on LeBron James when you guys can't even throw it in the ocean?
Yep.
Standing on the deck.
Okay. And finally, I also mentioned this at the top of the show. Your man, LeBron James, if in game 2 you give him a 6-point lead with 7 minutes left, he has to say, get out of my way. I'm going to shut this game down. I'm going to close it up and ship it home. Because it is a Laker, quote-unquote, home game. The crowd noise is going to be pro-Laker, the fake crowd noise.
Right.
He has to march to the free throw line. I know he's not great at the late game free throw line. In fact, he's the worst star at the late game free throw line you can find in NBA history.
66% now, where he was a 75%.
So he missed the 2 last night, as did Anthony Davis. But listen, against this team, he's being guarded by often Carmelo Anthony.
And Gary Trent Jr.
And
those are the 2 guys.
Okay, and Carmelo did a nice job of just trying. He tried to stay in front of him. But against Gary Trent Jr., he's about 6'5", and LeBron's about 6'9". He cannot keep you from the rim. He cannot. I'm sorry, he cannot.
But see, the thing is, Skip, is that what Portland did last night, they went double bigs. They went Whiteside and they went Nurkic. Well, if you go double bigs with them, they're not going to respect JaVale McGee. They don't respect Dwight Howard. So why would Whiteside and Nurkic wander out there? They're there clogging up the paint. Whiteside had 5 blocks. He had 2 or 3 on LeBron.
He did.
Where that would have been easy layups had he not been in the ball game.
I buy that.
So it's hard. So I know AD doesn't like to play the 5, but he might have to play the 5 in order to open up the court so LeBron can have that lane to come downhill.
I agree. The main thing they need to do is come out and make some shots. It's as simple as that. What's the most famous Doc Rivers line? And I'm not even sure Doc originated it because it probably was originated back in the peach basket days. It's a make or miss league and game.
Yeah, either you put the ball in the hoop or you didn't.
And especially once the three-point line got invented, there's no more psychologically devastating shot in basketball than to make a 3.
Right.
It's like, boom.
Because the thing is now, Skip, not only can you make a 3, we've seen Dame Lillard make a living off making 4-point plays. So now, where if I dunk the ball and you foul me, I can get 3. Now I can shoot that shot 3 plus 1.
Yep.
And you see, Caruso, I know you watch tape. If you try to go between the screen and get Dame, he's going to draw the foul, he's going to go to the free throw line, and he's going to make all 3 free throws.
Yep.
We've seen him do it. Skip, how many times? You like, well, that's not. How many times have we seen him and James Harden do that?
Yep.
If you do it, he's going to draw contact, and he's going to the line, and he's going to shoot the 3 free throws. It's as simple as that. Come on, guys. Now, I don't know what y'all watching. I don't know how you watch film in basketball, but whatever y'all doing, change it. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're not doing, try something else.
Frankie V, as you call him.
Man, Frankie V.
He's on the hot seat right now. You better push the right buttons going into this one.
They get him up out of there. He loses in the first round, they get him up out of there.
He would be up out of there in a heartbeat because there are two former head coaches sitting on. I know Lionel Hollins is not in the bubble, but Jason Kidd and Lionel Hollins are just sitting right there waiting in the wings.
Yeah. He'd be like that Barcelona coach. They lost 8-2. Man, you got to go, bro.
Later.
Yeah, you got to go. So you can't be the #1 seed with LeBron James and Anthony Davis and go out in the first round. You gone.
I'm not saying game 2 is a must-win, but you better win.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying.
It's a must-win.
You better win.
It's a must-win.
Yeah.
You got to,
Well, I mean, it's not like you have to go to Portland for game 3, but still.
Well, considering that I haven't seen the Lakers have looked like the Lakers twice, Skip. They looked like the Lakers against the Clippers, and they looked like the Lakers Utah.
They did.
That's it.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, we're going to step away from the game. I'll let Shannon just have a break.